Hello, I'm Eagle Gardens, Eagle Gardens 1 on Instagram, and this is fucking talking shit with Eagle, episode 365.5. Shot in a little quick with that go live button. Well, it's not ready. What's going on? Hopefully, you guys had a great Easter. Trying to get my shit brought up. Jason Stone, number one in chat first. What's up, Johnny Candace? How you doing as well? Hopefully, you guys all had a great Easter, like I was saying. Chat brought up, still locked down under top chat. Who the fuck is watching top chat? Oh. Southern BT grower John, cheers to you. Get some of this up. Man, I'm ready to smoke down. I've been smoking down all damn day. I still can't believe I had that on-air brain fart there. Oh, Stony. What up, Red Pill? What about Bob? Me all flower. Southern BT grower. How you doing? Rolling up a doobie here. Seeing who's gonna pop on. See if I'm gonna be able to make this a multitask night. We're done. Why talk for the next nearly hour and 8 minutes? Oh, Jack Greenstock. What's up, Jack? What about Jack? Two people at Smiling Some Gardens. Cheers, Jack. How you doing, man?
Doing well. How you doing? Cheers.
Oh fuck! I didn't wear my team shirt. Damn it!
Oh man. I agree with Jack. What's up, guys? How'd you guys have a fucking good Easter? That's a group question.
Sorry, that was me, man. My bad.
Too much light here. I gotta change things up here.
Right, Johnny looks like an angel over there.
Right? Yeah. Too much light on that sit.
Let's go.
It's better.
So did you guys have a good day, man? I know if bending over is a thing tomorrow, it could be a struggle because I actually ate I'm one of them cook, yeah. One of them cooks that fucking eat while I eat. Oh no. I'm not afraid to admit this, man. Carpenters know what the fuck I'm talking about, man. There's times like say you go set some trusses, man. Fucking there's days, man, you don't want a fucking full meal the day before and have to fucking touch your toes the next day, man. It sounds a lot like this. Fuck.
Yeah,
It sounds even worse than what you're thinking there. It plays right in probably. Fucking,
and it's not back. It's not back pain. It's pushing around that stomach.
Yeah. It's never fun. It's never fun. And I've continuously ate today. And then even after I logged off the show, I went and raided the kitchen one more time for fucking more ham and fucking sweets. So I'm on full capacity. I bet you I fucking added probably about 5 pounds today. Fucking just pack myself today.
Man, I haven't had a day like that in a long time. I miss those days.
So you telling me bending over, even on a gardening level, isn't a problem? Even if you had to go move plants around tomorrow, you wouldn't be like, fuck, I overate yesterday. This is too much.
I can only eat so much a day, so I don't have that issue anymore.
I know what you're talking about, dude. Like a lasagna, like a heavy meal like that too. Like going and eating lunch during the day, like throughout the work day. I always hated that because, like, I don't know, man, you get up from lunch and you can't get going again in the afternoon. It's like, shit, man, I don't want to go take a nap. Eat a real heavy meal like that.
That's
I
what
know I
had
hated
today was
I
took
hated
a
even
nap
eating
and
lunch.
got up around 2.
Yeah, I hated
Let
even
it
eating
settle
lunch.
and it went back. Sorry, Johnny.
That's okay.
I'm looking for my little tool right now that I use to like stir up my bowl. I have a little dental tool that I use to mix up the vaporizer whip between puffs. And it is MIA right now. I'm fucking not having it. I got another like glass one, but I don't know.
All right, well, let's dig into all these controversial topics. How is temperature affecting this? What are you saying, Eagle? What are you talking about here? Explain it. I don't know.
Got to start your seeds on a cold floor. That's what I read in chat.
Well, that was to get males. That's what I'm trying to wonder. Is it during germination? Is it during pollination? What are we talking about? Are they two separate, or is it?
I'm saying, no, I'm saying basically once the seed is, formed, it's locked and loaded. That it's a male or female. Once that shell is formed, done, said, match, basically.
That's what I believe.
What I'm saying as far as where I believe that temperature or environment's going to play a key in is during conception. That night where the pollen flies and she's taking on, whatever pollen is brought her way. I think that's where the difference lies. You know what I mean? If it's a hot and say humid night where she's going to take on a shit ton of pollen that night because of say humid conditions, and it's going to sit there and lie for a few minutes or even the night, that she could possibly take on more traits, even sway it one way or another. You know what I'm saying? To a male conception, or you know what I mean? Even her traits that night. Maybe, she's carrying more hormones to where she's more revved up than he is. You know what I'm saying? Her side of things are more genetically active. Yeah, I think that could be a thing.
No, I do think so too, Eagle, because I heard this like guys that have all daughters, like I had all girls, usually they get it in a lot deeper than the guys that had boys. So, I mean, I've always heard that too. So, you know what I mean? I believe that's true. Because I had all girls, you know what I mean? And I know I get it in deep. So,
well,
I'm just saying.
Coming from somebody who had all girls, I'm just going to agree.
But Eagle, you agree,
I'm just going to agree
right?
with you. Yeah, I'm just going to,
We know it's true then. It's got to be fact. See, Eagle had it happen and me. So, I mean, it's got to be fact.
Tumble.
I've always been looked for a good explanation for that, so I'm gonna take that one. Yeah. Top of the list.
You're gonna rest your hat on that one. That's a good hook.
Yeah. That's as far as I need to take it right there. Question answer.
Right. That's gonna change Ross to Jeff's answer. He's gonna be like, "Yeah, Eagle, I heard that he's got all daughters."
Up, Red Pill.
Hey, what's up? What's up, guys?
You got yourself a haircut.
Yeah, I did. Got the beard trim and haircut.
Oh yeah. I'm the only one that hasn't cleaned up yet.
I'm just saying, man, like some of that stuff's anecdotal. I just don't know. I wonder how you'd figure that out. You'd almost have to start tracking what temperature you pollinated at and then track the results therefore and then change.
Seems like something easy to do, right?
Well, I guess, yeah, if you're in a controlled room environment, right? You could just.
Or if you use only feminized pollen and then do it at a bunch of temperatures, and then you'll find out that the temperature actually doesn't have any bearing on the pollination.
That'd be like the control, right? Use fem pollen.
Like Mr. Soul always talks about how pollen is an X or a Y. If it's an X or a Y, it doesn't matter what temperature
On
it
the
is,
20.
in my opinion.
Sorry.
Oh, it is? Shit.
What drives the plant to
On the
produce
20.
the male plant either to produce, is it always a 50-50 ratio, or is there a way to engineer the plant, the male plant, you know, to have more X pollen than Y pollen, other than we know like reversal or fem spray or something?
I can't think of the name of the breeder off the top of my head, but I think it was on Future Cannabis Project or one of the other shows, but they were talking about, and they've done like 10,000 plus seeds. Maybe it was Loud Seeds or something. But he was saying a lot of like the chem lines and Girl Scout cookie lines that he has worked with have like 60% or more, like 60 to 70% female seeds, where a lot of like the other lines that are like old school stuff are like 50-50 or a lot closer to 50-50 ratios. And like that's over 10,000 seeds, not a 5-pack.
Yeah.
I could see fluctuations in the germ, you know what I'm saying? Like in the next generation, maybe 60-40 or whatever, leaning one way. Even I've heard of like, 70 some. And there was the, what was the debacle from Cookies Fam? Was that Candy Rain? They sold like $800 packs of seeds and shit, and then everybody got males from them, or it was like it was like a 1 in 30 were female or some shit like that.
They were just herming and mutants, and they were flowering. The males were flowering in solo cups like within the first few weeks and shit. That was just clusterfuck. There was a lot of issues with that. It was $800 for a 20-pack, so basically $400 for a 10-pack, but you could only get them in a 20-pack for
I don't know why,
$800.
but I get the sense that that wasn't an accident.
Dude, I think it was. Why would they ruin their reputation and their name?
Well, did they ruin their reputation? It didn't.
Yes.
It didn't. Bro.
Yeah, dude.
In my opinion, and many other people, no one's buying. Like when they had those overseas drops.
Not us, but I'm talking about the people that go in there to the stores and buy their stuff.
But that's not what the market that we're talking about. We're talking about seed selling and breeding.
Yeah, but no, they still have notoriety. They still have hundreds of thousands of millions of followers on Instagram.
But that they're not known for their seed breeding and seed selling. That's a multi-million-dollar industry.
But I'm just saying, it really didn't hurt. Maybe for us, you're looking at it as like if you're going to go out and buy the seeds, but it didn't hurt.
I'm not though. I mean, like anybody that Googles cookie seed, then they can go and find these Candy Rain stores.
Okay, what if they don't put the word seed in there though? They just Google cookies.
Then they're not looking for the seed, so they're not going to be paying $800.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm talking about.
Right. You're right. We were talking about the seed release they did, and they really pretty much haven't been doing that. So.
Well, to me, they didn't have a good seed representation before then. For me, personally.
Exactly, because they don't breed. All of their shit came from a bag seed. They tried to get into the breeding world, and all they have is females. So if you only have females, like somebody was talking about earlier, Phenomenal Genetics, the guy who was on the show tonight, he was saying, oh, I'm thinking about just doing breeding with only females for a few years. And well, it sounds pretty, and Mr. Soul and others are going down that road. I just think that there's problematic issues that can become of it. You know?
Yeah. But even so, that was one case I had heard of where there were like high ratio of males in it. And I've heard of too, like, you know, certain people pack, you know, popping a 10-pack and they're all males, or 10-pack and they're all females.
10 seeds is not a representative sample of anything. I'm sorry, but it's like pop to 1,000 seeds, and if you get a ratio that's 90 to 10 or something, then you have something significant. But even 1,000, go through 1,000,000 seeds, like Breeder Steve's doing, or some of these other guys.
Saying that, so somebody was just talking about that, where like from 0 to 30 is just kind of like a very small, you know, you're not even close to it. And they were saying like, yeah, if you wanted a true representation, it was around that 900 or 1,000 mark. Yeah.
I heard 250 to find like a true recessive, 250 to 500. Breeder Steve was saying like 2 out of 500 seeds will show recessive traits in many cases when he pops 500. So, I mean, you can definitely hunt smaller batches and find really cool stuff. But to go to the Red Pill's point about do you think that cookies did it on purpose? No, because their like London pound cake and their other stuff
But
wasn't problematic.
if you
Any
do
news
ask,
is
if you
any
do
news
ask
is
Red
news.
Pill, I do say that they did it on purpose, though. So
Yeah,
So
any news.
I just want to finish
Yeah.
one point, because if you talk to Subcool, he talked about how you could grow as much weed as you want, and no matter how much you grow, like you're never going to be able to fit as much value of flower in your grow space as you could as if you made seeds and you're able to sell them for like $5 or $10 per seed. And so with that being said, they can make a lot more money, especially since they already have a big brand and a big name, and they're known
yeah,
for their genetics.
they're the patient zero of that disease spreading. Everyone thinking they should go out and do the same thing. Maybe that's not a. There's a few shining, gems that came out of doing that, and that everyone that wants to shouldn't be able to breed, but they're the ones that led an example for getting away with doing that. So, if you ask Red Pill,
cheers to
Cheers,
me
man,
all
all flower.
flower. I don't mean to cut you guys
Morning.
off, man. He was over there rolling a fucking ball bat. Cheers to you, my friend. Coming in with
Getting
the
it out of
enforcer.
ballpark. That's the way you have to do it on a Monday morning.
That's right.
We're living in the future over here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Flower, good to see you.
Good to see you, Johnny. Happy
Yes.
Easter.
Yes.
Happy Easter.
How's the weather on your side of the land?
We've had it beautiful for the last week, and today we're promised snow.
No.
So everybody that planted everything in the last week outside in their beautiful gardens, it's going to be fucked tomorrow.
Oh no.
Unless you got it covered. That's the truth. We've had kind of 2 weeks of lovely weather. We kind of get year weather if you kind of get that Seattle area comes through. Yeah. So if the weather that you had, like whatever in the last 2 weeks, it kind of makes its way over. So we'll get the snow that you had last week. You had your good spell, and then you got your rainy. Yeah. It ends up here. So we get year rain from all the snow and all that. So happy days. Happy Easter, everyone. Get back to the conversation.
Happy
Okay.
Easter,
Yeah,
man.
Holly.
With that point, if you want to go back into the conversation, Jack, you're talking to someone named Red Pill. You think I'm not going to turn it into a conspiracy?
Well, I'll say
No,
this. What's the conspiracy about them still selling $800 seeds from a different person under the Cookies flagship who's selling the fuck out of them? The Emergency from Seed Junkie. He's selling them for $800 for a 10-pack, and they're selling like hotcakes.
I wouldn't know, because I'm not, like you said, I'm not interested in seeds. I don't follow up. I don't know anything about it. Not interested. Don't care. So
There is a market, and I'll say Jigga, the guy who put out the Candy Rain, he deleted his Instagram for like several years since the Candy Rain drop, and he's been like shamed out of the community. And although Cookies is still doing their thing and their business all over the world, it's a different enterprise than the seed making. And that guy ruined his own reputation and lost out of millions. He got that first million by doing those, few seed packs for $800 a drop. They were numbered, and if you did the math on like the London pound cake and the Candy Rain, it was equaled out to make him exactly $1 million per strain if they sold out.
okay, so I maybe I had a spidey sense or something, but I smelled something fishy when Girl Scout cookies dropped, right? So that's
Who dropped Girl Scout cookies?
I care so little to know, not even know.
But I'm saying, like, are you saying that they dropped from seed, or are you just talking about the cut?
When the phenomenon happened, when it came into everyone's realm, they first learned about it, and it was like, you don't know about Girl Scout cookies, that whole thing.
I don't know what happened to light up again. Tim, he was popping in too, and then fell out.
Yeah. I thought somebody was coming in.
I wanted to say, Eagle, I'm not opposed to your thoughts or ideas about the temperature or environment, like whether it's humidity or heat. impacting the male or female ability for the pollen to stick to the plant or something. I just haven't seen or heard any data about that. Do you have any information that suggests that a hotter room would be more conducive for male pollen, or a colder room or a drier room would be more conducive to male or female pollen? And do you know any of like, is
Yeah.
male pollen heavier than female pollen?
Where are
Like,
those white papers at?
I'm just curious if, because you seem like you have a strong theory on this, like you're really, really sure that if it's damper, then there's definitely going to be more female seeds, or if it's like drier. I'm just trying to curious what direction you think it's working in, or if you think that it just has some relation.
Eagle, do you know the guy that the young kid that done all the? He was doing all the hemp in Colorado. He's only a young kid, but he always used to come on Sub Show. But he had all the paperwork on all this. He done some serious, like, as in the 10,000 seed drop. He's only a young kid, but he done all the college stuff. I remember him coming from starting in college and getting his whole thing together. But he had a lot of paperwork on the seed, as far as I know. I can't think of his.
I kind of remember who you're talking about, but I can't remember his name.
I can't think of his name. Real young kid.
Yeah, I know dung beetle spent a lot of time.
No, this wasn't dung beetle. This wasn't dung. No, this was another kid.
I know who you're talking about, but
he went through college and everything, and then come back after his college and say, "I've done this year," and with Sub, and Sub would keep pushing him and pushing him. Yeah. Now he's got to be one of the big players now, because 3 years ago he was doing tens of thousands of acres, like, you know what I mean, or hundreds of acres of hemp.
To be fair, those numbers in hemp are pretty like normal. Hemp is like corn, and they just grow acres and acres of it once they scale. But I think you might be talking about Mike West. I'm not familiar with him as much from Subcool, but Mike West was on Pest Church a lot, and he's pretty science-based.
He do both, yeah. That's the kid.
Or maybe Future 4200. He has a lot of like papers and stuff, or the American one, because he's got all the white papers.
You know, the American one, those papers.
And crystals.
Where are you? Where are you?
Crystals.
Crystals.
Can't forget crystals. How fucking good was that?
I have to
drawing.
I have to put new shoes on Amy's aces every week. She just wants to. She's just growing out of pots.
Oh fuck! Don't tell me that.
About the American one.
I've got like 5 of those in solo cups right now. So you're telling me that I'm gonna have to be up potting soon. I gotta get those sex tests out.
Yeah, there you go. I like to see that. I like to see something that's bigger. As long as it's not too stretchy, of course. Yeah.
Cheers, Tim, if you can hear us. So, Jack, I'm not ducking your question. No, the question's just kind of popped up into my head as of late, to where is if they could. The conversation we had the other night when Chad Westport was on kind of struck the idea in my head, if that could play a factor in conception or pollination, and why couldn't it? And I honestly think that it could, if the not just temperature, but environment. If she was struggling from one issue or another, maybe her hormones or chemicals are in another direction, or in a leaning stronger in one direction or the other, to where, like, say, she's more likely to take on more of the male genetics, or say her hormones are stronger than his, blocking out more of his Y chromosome. I mean, I think that's possible with us too as humans. If I'm like, couldn't it work out to be like, say, our environment, my mood, if I'm not as worked up in the moment and she's overactive, couldn't her egg be stronger than my semen at that point, and make the chances of the conception of a female be greater? I mean, who's to say it's not? You know what I mean? It's a good question. And if anything, I don't have the white papers, but I'm willing to look into it. And it's already tricked you guys into looking it up yourself. You know what I mean? Making you search for a little knowledge one way or another. So, you know, a question is a question. We're all striving for an answer here. So it's more of a conversation. I'd like to know the answer. I'm going to look into it. I haven't had time to research anything. Y'all called my bluff in the middle of a show as I'm trying to like. And again, I'm not that guy usually either, where I feel the need to. I gotta pull this up right now, but I seen it going pretty heavy in chat. I was like, I want to see if I can find. It can't be that hard, and you know, I still don't think it's that hard to find out. Some research, it's definitely not going to be cannabis related, but I'm sure there's some kind of research out there that is, you know, has been done as far as pollination and temperature with plants in general.
Yeah. Do other dioecious plants, male and female plants that make separate male and female seeds, do they do the same exact thing? Are they all influenced to do more or less a 50-50, maybe a little give or take 5%, you know, either way? But it's kind of weird. Sometimes dioecious plants in the wild, you just find like a cluster of female plants growing, and you'll find maybe one male and a bush of like 10 females. So what happened there? Were the female seeds just better at germinating, or did the pollination that happened the year before have more female pollen in the air?
Okay, here it comes, guys. Here comes the real conspiracy theory on this. I'm gonna fucking turn it up a notch on you guys. Ah!
Wait,
If the lines weren't foggy enough, now as we take in this matter, and it's a question of, you know, how the plant feels, environment, all that good stuff. We've talked about in organics. I'm bringing you in here, Smiley. We talked about organics and how we think plants can possibly communicate through the microbe network, through the ground in general. So if we have, you know, a large acreage of plants, of cannabis plants, do you think it's possible that they could communicate through the soil, through that male, and go, you know, we're female dominant here. We need a male with a stronger seed. You know what I mean? We need to make more male seed. You know what I mean? Can that be teleported
think
through the
so.
soil
I
and
think so.
strengthen that man
I
up?
think so. I think the mycelium down there is just dancing around talking to each other all the time. And that's like a little
Yeah, but the seed,
It's fucking.
how can that happen if the seed, when you plant it, they all grow at the same time?
They wouldn't.
Okay, so they're not going to germinate at the same time, but
Mhm.
by the time the other ones know that they're female, or I'm kind of just okay. So we can determine. Are we going to say then that seeds determined from beginning, or is it from when you pop it, like from when the plant makes it, or from when we decide to germinate it?
As of this very moment, I'm led to believe that the seeds are the way that they are, you know, at germination, male or female. There's no way to influence it past the point of germination. What we'd like to know is if there's a way of influencing it in pollination.
So we're beyond the temp at germination thing. So we're on to pollination totally. I just want to clarify because that makes, I don't know.
The government shouldn't pay for it.
Okay, so what about the guys? So back to the example though of like the guy that only has boys or the guy that only has girls.
Smileys, that's different. That's a completely different subject, because I know for a fact, and the reason I asked Eagle the question is because I thought maybe he did some research and he found some information like I'm about to tell you about humans. If you take a human sexuality class or a health class, they'll tell you, in modern day at least, semen XX, or the X gamete, which is passed on by the man, who decides whether it's going to be a male or a female, because the woman only has an X to give, right? So just like a female plant, she only has an X to give. The male determines whether it's a boy or a girl. The Y, because if you look at a Y versus an X where it has all four little lines, it's literally larger, the X than the Y. So it's heavier. So if you spin it in a little device and you only want to have female, like girls, you take the sperm that sinks down to the bottom. If you only want boys, you take the sperm that floats up to the top because it's lighter. So when you spin it, literally the weight separates. So there's 100% of the male is at the top, 100% of the female is at the bottom.
Jack, have you done any of these experiments yourself?
No, I haven't. This is just scientifically known fact. Obviously, I don't work in a sperm lab or anything, but I know people.
I'm just saying, like in
so
my buddy.
You've done it upside down. Are you sure you haven't done it upside down?
But there are known like breeding males that will
jump up and down,
have all female prodigies, and they're like prized in the industry because that's the goal, is to have a female snake at the end. And that's where Tim got me in the laughter. I don't know, female snake. But yeah, like at the end of that.
Excuse me, I'll be right back. I got to use the bathroom.
But to have always have a daughter, you know what I'm saying? Like to have a breeding male that always has a daughter is a thing for that realm anyway. So I don't.
I'm my mind's going to some crazy uncontacted tribe where they have rites of passages where for female fertilization they need more male.
You know what we're talking about?
It just led to women being spun around like a pinwheel until they have male babies.
I see where you're going, but still, no.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they need to jump up and down. That's what I'm saying.
I think it's on the male side. I get what Jack's saying, like bringing that X, like, and I don't think they change after they're in the heat because I just don't see how that could be possible either, or temperature related. But I don't know. But the pollen,
or an indentation on a seed.
In my opinion, it's determined from the day that seed was made, just like you were talking about with the sex of the male. Like it knows I'm a male and I'm going to throw either 50-50 male and female pollen or 60-40 or 70-30.
But I mean,
because my genetic lineage is made up of other genetics. Like when you talked about there is one female or one male in a field full of females.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look into guys like CSI Humboldt, who works with a lot of landrace stuff, he'll tell you that landrace is messy. It has herms, it has rags, it has stuff selfing, it has literally everything. So when you have all that going on, there's going to be not just rags, there's also femmes. So when you have a bunch of that happening, there's going to be more females than males, just because some of those options, there's not like an option that's going to make only male seeds, to my knowledge, without chemicals. Like that.
Yeah, in Pakistan, they are in Afghanistan, they have to clear the fields. They don't, you know what I mean? Same in Morocco, they clear the fields, they plant the seed and then they go and they tin it out, take the males. Is the course, the first to show. You know? But that's, to
prevent seed though. But if it's left untouched, that's all I'm saying is there's.
Yeah, but even they'll take out stragglers as well. They eliminate other plants that are not, that are not going to make. They kind of know the genetic that they're looking for, that phenotype, and they know the weaker ones in there from growing for years and years. They just know.
I agree with that 100%. But the topic that we're kind of talking about is like whether it's male or female, there's always going to be a tendency to lean more towards the females because you have hermes and stuff selfing. And when there's selfing plants, you'll get 100% female. Like Smiley was talking about with the snake. It's a feminized seed or a feminine seed. It's going to be either a female or a herm. It's not going to be a male. It might look like a male because it'll herm so fucking bad, but it's going to be a female. So that pushes the ratios up above 50. It's going to be 50% male or less. So you're going to have 50% or more female.
How did Candy Rain Guy do it? They call them males.
Their stuff was just so hermed out because it was cookie crossed into cookie. So you have really recessive things that are Hermy crossing into Hermy begets more Hermy. So everything that they had was really not males. It was Hermy
pops that were all males. So you know what I mean?
How many seeds though? 10, 5. Yeah, that's bad luck. That's called gambler's fallacy. You could go to the casino and they could go 10 out of 10 black in a row, and then it could be 10 out of 10 black in a row again. and 10 out of 10 black in a row again. It doesn't happen often, but it can happen.
So I understand your representation of the human egg and sperm there. But again, I'm going to fight on the fucking leg that it depends on her, basically. You know, that egg, that surrounding defense of her shell there, you know, if them holes are more porous to where my X chromosomes can fucking fly through there and she's blocking off more of the Y, you know what I mean?
Like tennis.
Chances are good.
Yeah, but there's a
Fucking-
couple of hundred sperm as
I'm
well.
still
And
gonna
there's-
have a female, but like say she's, even though my count's more X, there's still in her egg is say like weak, or their defenses are like, there's a good chance even though I'm more X dominant that one of my fucking drunk fucking Y chromosomes can cartwheel through her fucking defense there and be the winner. You know what I mean? There's always that fucking odd. You know
I
what
agree with
mean?
you, Eagle, and I want to add something. Like maybe it's not heavier versus lighter. Maybe it's larger versus smaller. Maybe the smaller pollen can get in. Maybe a male pollen is smaller. The way that it actually
But
works, if you
even
talk to a
if
botanist,
that's being said, and again,
you have
none
a
of this has
pistil
been tested
and a
yet,
pollen grain.
you would be able to tell just by looking at his offering if he was going to throw, you know, a male or a female, just by looking at what his, you know, his pollen. You know, if they were down
And
to
you can.
size.
I gotta
Well,
say
if-
another. Go ahead, Eagle.
Not
My
these
bad.
days.
You got to say what, Red?
Oh, for human's sake, I'm gonna keep comparing humans to plants. Maybe it's not close enough analogy, but X and Y. You know, a male is X and Y, right? Not double X, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Everybody has an X, and the Y comes from the male, like I was talking about earlier.
right, but
The male gives either an X or a Y.
a male is a X and Y chromosome, me or you,
Right.
or boys. I hope.
Because the female always gives the X.
Right. So that's
X,
why
X is girl, X, Y
right.
is boy. So we
Okay,
either give a
so-
Y chromosome or an X chromosome.
in human's sake, that's why males still have nipples. Right? We all got nipples, right? So is that the same thing? Because we're X and Y, we're not YY. There's no YY.
That'd be like
so-
saying all males have pistols and they don't. Some males have pistols and some don't.
Man, you're just poo-pooing everything tonight.
I'm just trying to say, you know, but what you're talking about with the men having nipples is, and they're not being functional, like for reproductive purposes.
But is there ever been a person out there with a YY? Are there any YY people walking around? Is there YY?
Everybody
Would that be
has
an
to
al-
have,
Would that be
you
an
functionally
albino?
have to have an
Well, you
X.
could throw in the super male as what? Because in rare cases, they have the extra chromosome.
There's like XXY, people that are like intersex. That's as common as people that have red hair. It's a lot more common than people think. You just don't notice it because usually when people get circumcised,
Yeah,
or
we always
whatever,
keep that a secret.
most people don't even know. Like a lot of people that take genetics classes, they won't test you for XX or XY because so many people don't actually align with their outward appearance and physical representation.
So beta males are just XXYs.
Perhaps. Speaking of beta males, I'm out. It's been fun jibber jabbering with y'all. I got a super early morning. My beta ass has to get up and go to fucking work. So have a good night, y'all. Peace and love.
All right.
Jack,
A good one.
thanks for popping
Happy
on,
Easter.
my friend.
I was gonna say,
Later,
I
Jack.
see my grandson yesterday. He knows where his boobs are now. He goes like this.
Nice. He found them. It's like there's things right here.
No, the girls are over there teaching him, where's your boobs? Where's your ears? And all this thing. So yeah, now he knows his boobs are. So
Oh gosh, I hope he doesn't refer to them as boobs.
I know, right? That's what I was getting on him. I'm like, those aren't
Oh Lord, little
Yeah,
girl.
He shows his muscles though. He'll go like, I'll go like this. Show your muscles, and he'll go. Urgh.
Where's your pecs? Ugh. Those are called pecs
So-
in a man.
Right.
Man, that all went over More serious
Well,
and further than I thought it would ever be.
Yeah,
Which
me
strikes
too.
the question to me: do we take our cannabis too fucking seriously?
well, I gotta say,
Yeah, that's right.
when I put a lady in with a man, I drop it about 1.5 feet before I put her in there. So she's in shock when I put that dude in there. So she's disorientated. She can't make her mind up. So when the guy goes in there, he's got no problems.
Yeah,
that
so
sounds like
basically you're
rape,
warming
John.
her up first.
That sounds more like rape than anything. We don't condone.
Man, I'm just throwing a wrench in there, man. I don't do that.
Say, man.
It was fun though.
Hope so.
I've heard listening to Marvin Gaye during increases conception almost every time. Some little Marvin Gaye or some of that old fucking love music.
Oh yeah,
That's Barry White.
Barry White.
That
Yeah,
that deep voice, yeah. Oh yeah. You gotta throw some of that in there to make the difference. Some of that 70s music.
Oh,
It's too serious. Too serious.
You know what time it is, girl.
that's it. Yeah, so I made me a medicated chicken dinner again tonight. I sauteed some mushrooms up and 2 tablespoons of medicated butter, and then I sauteed some. Holy shit! And I sauteed some. And I sauteed some chicken up in
It's extra
medicated
chromosome, Don.
oil, and then I did some. And then oh shit! I can't even think after that. That was good. Good food.
I just had some beef roast and potatoes, but it was real nice out where I was at, so we got to light up the goddamn wood burner. Sorry, drew a blank on what it is. Wood burner.
And I'm hoping to be done with the wood burner here right soon here this year. We're right on that time where I'm almost done burning wood.
Yeah, I've had to turn on my swamp cooler. It's been so hot. Desert living. Desert living. You know, I built a little outside garden and walked out a few days back, and I saw a bunch of footprints in there, like there was something hopping around inside the bed. You know, and I'm thinking, well, what the heck? I haven't even put any dirt in yet. It's just the box with plastic around it. So
I was here last night, this morning.
I grabbed a.
Only got like maybe
Oh,
2 or 3 centimeters, but
I found a bird in there. There's a little baby bird that fell out of a nest that's stuck inside my box. So I put
So now
water in it.
you have a
and
new
some
best
pots.
friend?
No, I don't have a best friend. I'm just trying to figure out how to get it out of there without hurting it. Or without it getting killed, you know?
I figured you'd had one of those like whisper tendencies, and you like just touched it and like broke, or, it healed its wing and it flew away magically.
Nah, I tried that with the rake, but it didn't work.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Tim, it's been a minute since you popped in. How's the garden looking?
You're muted. Okay.
Yes, it is. I'm going to answer that real quick. Yes, it is possible to reverse males, John Gorski. There's a different chemical they do that with, and it's somehow poisonous if you smoke it. So you can male, see its female expression, smell it, all that, but you don't want to smoke it after you do that, I guess. That's as much as I know about it.
Yeah, there's no way to turn a male into a female and get to harvest it at the end, but it's a whole nother level on one thing. If you have a few males you can't decide between and you want to reverse them, and they'll tell you way more about it. You know, they'll start developing calyxes and more typical type of trichomes that you ordinarily would find. So say if you got like some Afghani hash plant seeds, right? You could reverse the males and then find the ones that have those, more dominant hash producing abilities. Also get them lab tested too, if you wanted to.
So, Red, is there a way to actually tell by looking at a seed whether it's a male or a female? Can you predict what it's going to be?
Well, I don't know. Without the aid of crystals, I don't know if you could do that. But
oh, you had to go there.
Yeah.
I heard if you put a magnet over them, the girls will spin left and the boys will spin right.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna try that, and it's just after the show's over, I'm gonna try it.
What I do know is a few years ago, Vader OG actually did that whole myth of looking at the end of the seed, and if there's like a little volcano or some other one of the formations is called a volcano, the other one I forget what it's called, but if you look at seeds, they have some little marking on them. And there was a rumor going around like the volcano ones were supposedly either male or female, and the other marking ones are male or female. So it was like supposedly some easy identification just looking at a seed, being able to tell.
An innie and an outie.
An innie and an outie. That's pretty good. But he had a HD camera, and he took a picture of each seed. Like he took a picture of, I forget how many seeds, it was like 50 seeds. But a zoomed in picture, and like said, okay, these are all the volcano ones, these are all the innies, here are all the outies. And then he germinated them, and then it went back to it and said, well, then let's see if all the ones that were volcanoes or innies or outies are supposed to be male and female like they're supposed to. And I don't think he ever made a second follow-up video. He just kind of told people what the results were if you asked him that question. But I do know he did that. I think he said it wasn't conclusive enough. Like he's saying, like what we're all saying, and it's
you probably have to do a 1,000 seeds,
right?
10,000 seeds.
Yeah.
Of each strain, then.
Yeah, he only did one cultivar. I think it was only like 50 seeds.
Well, I heard somebody say that the more round the bottom where it comes off of the stem,
the outie.
Yeah, I don't know if it's outie or not, but the more round it is, it's more apt to be a female. More looking like an eyeball, which is like that, rather than round.
Right.
Then it would be more apt to be a male, is what I was told. So that's completely different than what you were saying, innie and outie. I've never even heard that part. It just sounds like
I didn't come. That was me all flower that got.
No, I just said it as a kind of a belly button.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. So volcano or in or outie, definitely. That makes sense.
I'm going to use it because I've had loads of kids.
Yeah, that's layman terms right there.
Yeah.
Everybody understands that.
Can you like make a partial, can you make like a asterisk for this title of this wormhole, and then it's like the health class or sex ed fucking wormhole.
Seed
No,
sex ed,
don't.
Yeah.
bean ed.
Being
Even mentioning certain words, it could get you flagged on this thing.
Yeah, that's true.
no, of course, don't really do that.
Title it How to CRISPR.
Yeah.
If you could get the American one in with these papers,
No, we didn't.
can
Fucker.
we send out that crystal?
All day too. He was in chat, but he missed his show earlier, and now he's not on. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Let's
Well, we
do-
can't
He
pick
wasn't on
him.
the show.
Show up as much.
He wasn't on with Jack last night either, was he?
I don't know.
Or I should say last night, evening.
I don't think he typically is on Sunday nights though. In chat, it always seems like he kind of crashes early or something. 'Cause he does that cheap home grow one too. So who knows?
I'm gonna
Hey,
say
Jack.
cheers.
Cheers.
402, not 420, you dyslexic fuckers.
It all works, doesn't it? So, Smiley, I think in the case of both earth boxes here, I think I may re-veg one of those orange bosses in. I'm kidding. I've left enough on the one to re-veg in the earth box, but I'm not sure if I'm going to. You know what I mean? I'm still in the kicking around phase on that. But I believe what I'm going to do with the other box, regardless, is just compost the top of them. You know, with maybe an inch or two of some like dairy dew compost, and then run them again.
Yeah.
As is. You know, just basically cut out the plant, leave the roots, and then put another plant in there, compost, and then veg her for a minute, and then run her again, as is.
Yeah. I mean, I'd add some amendments to it, but definitely you can do that. So I would suggest still adding some kind of an oyster shell or a lime or something.
So, what are your thoughts on like the soil that I guess it might as well be public as it could be about this point. There's more soil in the garden that's ever been here. If you want to, I guess if you want to call it soil, but of course, right now there's of course what's left is the Smiley Earth box, which would be re-amended and run again, and then the M3 mix is floating around now. 4 pots of that. And then there's 4 pots of the dairy flour or the dew flour, which is an organics mix. And then there is 4 pots of the smoke and grow tomatoes. And we're actually even thinking about
I need my
adding the Detroit mix in with it as well. So there's going to be some narrowing down of brands, but what are your thoughts on because when I sent you the picture originally of the flower dude, you kind of asked me why I chose that one or the other.
Yeah.
And without right off the top of my head, having all the answer for you, it was more because of the bone meal and the extra additives in the flower dude. Now the smoking tomatoes is more just kelp and earthworm castings. How big a flavor do you think there's going to be from the one that has the bone meal, the blood meal, and all that good shit? Do you think the smoke and grow tomatoes, stripped down with the castings and the kelp meal, is going to be able to compare side by side with the flower do?
I honestly don't know either. anything about either one of those. I haven't had it really.
That almost
Smoking
sounds like
Tomatoes was their quote unquote water only kind of cannabis mix. That was kind of like the step up for them. And they have their own garden line. But that was supposed to be, I thought, higher amendment, but I don't know. Or maybe it is. But I agree with you. I mean, going into flower, that probably is a little better mix, I guess. I don't know.
it almost seems like they'd be good mixed together, because if one's more leaning towards one way and one's the other one, it sounds like you can make super soil mixing them.
Yeah. I'd have to look, Eagle. I'll look into it a little more. Try to get back to you. I thought they had those pretty highly. I thought when I seen the Smoking Tomatoes, it was like right along the lines with like the M3 and all them, where they had the whole, like they were in a contest to put more ingredients on than the other guy did, or something.
It could be something along that effect there. You know, but I've always heard, you know, even today in the Coots mix, they brag up, you know, the kelp meal. You know, he says, you know, the kelp's got all the, what, 88 or 87 minerals and whatnot in it, which is makes it a roundabout, you know what I mean? A nice, healthy addition. And the earthworm castings, which is, you know, two of the Coots mix, basically, you know what I mean? So is that enough to compare with some of the, you know, big hitters in the other soil? Because, and like they were saying, you know, in the super soil mix, the blood meal, the bone meal, all these other additives have been, you know, key to dank flour, you know, or at least heavy in the ingredients list to a dank soil for dank flour. So that's what I'm curious to know. It's just the bare minimum, the kiss effect of what's listed on the pack will produce, you know, as good as like the beefier list on the Duke.
It
So I'm
sounds like the one that's
kind of
got the worm,
interested to see.
Yeah.
the
Go
one
ahead,
that
Rico.
has worm castings and kelp sounds like it might burn out faster. Doesn't sound like it's not a bad mix, but I don't think you could take it from first wheat or first day of flower all the way to harvest just water. The one with the bone meal and the blood meal is probably be more likely to be better for, you know, the whole flowering cycle.
They were both labeled for flour too. Sorry, Smiley. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just looking on the Smoking Tomatoes website, and it looks like they have three mix or multiple mixes. That says number one, you use the seed/clone mix. Step two, mix the veg blend, and then step three is their super bloom mix. And then they got an extra boost compost kicker to go with it. So I don't know.
So yeah, I didn't build up. You know what I mean? I didn't build up, you know, from their stages up through.
Maybe
I
they
took,
changed
you
it
know,
though. That's what I'm thinking is they
the
changed
cocoa. It says it's ready to transplant into. That's one of the chose factors too. You know what I mean? I even asked before. I'm like, well, these are coming from a veg that's pretty much in a cocoa with some type of worm castings in it. You know, can I put my plants directly into this veg for a few days and then throw it into flower? And the label, and they both said, yeah, you can take off from that point.
Don't you usually use 3 pots, no matter, you know, you have what from what do you start with? And then you
From
go
one
from
to a,
one.
usually like a soul cup to a 1 to a 3 to a fucking 10. So it's a 4
Well,
sometimes transplant.
well, your last two, I would say, how long does it stay in that 3 before it goes into the 10?
2 weeks, maybe 2.5 weeks, depending on how, you know, how quickly the growth, obviously the growth of the plant dictates the
Well,
transplant.
If you did have all three of those bags and you still wanted to go up in pot size like how you normally do, I would do the pure seed and clone bag in, solo cup. And I'll do a 50-50 in the 1 gallon of that kelpin worm castings with that
So
seed mix.
I,
And
I
then
feel
that,
this should be said too. Is in this instance, and I don't mean to cut you off, Red Pill. I just feel like this is a heavy factor now that I'm thinking about it. In this instance, they all of them, because of I've been fucking slacking on chores, are pretty decent sized plants
Mhm.
that are going in there. They're more like this size that are going now. They're actually going from a 1 to the 10. So
Okay.
there, I feel like there's a lot of nutrients. You know what I mean for the flower.
Mhm.
It's more or less for me
That
the root spreading out before I flip.
that is a big factor, because that if you can do it in one less pot size, then yeah, that's what I would say is just go from either that 1 or the 3, whatever you're going to do, into the 10, and just do that kelpin worm castings in the first pot, and then your final pot do the bone meal and blood meal mix, because it does sound like that one that you have is their like secondary bag, right? It's not the super bloom.
No, it's no, it's not the additive. It's not the kicker, but it's definitely their flower as far as the smoke and grow tomatoes goes.
Mhm.
And the other one is a flower due. The only one that's like the multi-purpose in this one so far is the M3. The M3 is the one that's like through all stages.
Yeah.
Maybe needs some help later on.
Well, I guess it would probably have to come down to a side by side then, right?
Right on, right on. And here's another key factor in what's going on right now and I think unfortunately, well, Smiley, we've talked about Detroit off the air. Locally for me, that's one of the more expensive ones, and that might just be a source thing. You know what I mean? As we talked about, but this is a key factor too. Is what I'm looking at in all these mixes is how they're gonna look come next. Like this. I don't. I'm telling you right now, is this M3 as good as it may do? I don't like the structure of this shit already. I don't like all the heavy perlite, none of that. You know what I mean? It may this. I'll use it this run, but I don't care for the structure of that. Now these other ones I bought, the tomatoes and the farmer dude, were more of a nice structure, less perlite, but it was more airy. Not a lot more shit I want to see the next run, and something I feel I can keep adding on to for next round. If I think aeration is going to be a problem, I could add stone or something. I'm not necessarily locked into that perlite, and it's going to be there forever. I feel like I have more options with the other two next round, where this M3 is just for me it probably a one and done, and I'll be working on those. So that's another factor I'm looking at these is if will I be able to use it or recondition it next for another time. Because if I'm gonna work towards soil, I'm gonna honestly
You have
work
to reuse
towards
it.
being able to reuse it, and being something that's I've just cut out a cost factor. You know what I mean? That's
Mhm.
so that's one angle of it as well.
I do know what you mean. I think I don't know, from experience, man. I think it's really a lot more challenging than what I thought originally. Trying to run multiple cycles out of the same soil, especially and a lot of it had to do with maybe pot size. I didn't have enough media or whatever. So I get it. People do it and whatever, but it's in my situation, I found it to be more of a challenge than I originally thought to try to hit all the nutrients right by doing top dressing. when I don't really know what happened to that soil the last time. And now say I'm on my 5th or 6th or 7th run, you compounded that. You know what I'm saying? Especially like the way I was doing it, I was repeating. I was real repetitive with, this round I'm going to add crab meal and kelp, and this round I add this, and I had it down real repetitive. Well, each round when you're doing the same like that, then it's, you know what I mean? If you were off, you're just off and a little more the next time and a little more the next time and a little more the next time. So I don't know. It's hard, man. I mean, I don't have all
Well,
the answers, I guess is what I'm saying. Like, I don't know.
I've been using my soil for over a year. I just keep adding soil into it since it's getting a little bigger, you know. But every time I take my soil, well, the last couple of runs that I've been doing here, I've actually just dug a hole in the pot that I've been using, and then transplant the next pot into it, and going that way. And just the other day, I took one of my pots out and dumped it just to see what it was like, and that thing was completely full of roots. So it had used up basically all the soil that was inside that media.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was used up, and I chopped it up out into my little bin that I have. And now what I do at this point is I will add some leaves that were dried up that I've dried up, and I blended to a dust basically. And then I add that into the mix, and then I add my tomato vegetable organic mix that I have from gosh, I can't remember what it is, Mother Earth or something like that. And then I mix that into it, and then I add a couple of probably about 8 cups of earthworm castings into it, mix it up, and then I let that sit for a few months. And sometimes I'll put some steer shit into it too. If I'm gonna let it sit for a while, I'll let it if I'm gonna let it sit for a minute and just cook, I'll put some steer shit into it, so it just kind of revigorates it. That's kind of how I go about it, because I'm reusing all of my soil. I've never thrown any of my soil except once. I threw a whole plant and everything out into my garden, or my trash can, pot and everything. Oh, okay. But that's how I do it. Kind of.
No, I get that, Johnny, and that's fine, and I'm not trying to cut it down at all. I'm just saying that's still a guess in a lot of ways. So
Completely, because I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
right,
Well,
and none of us do without any kind of testing. That's all I'm getting at, is like, really that's the only answer, unless you're trying to guess, especially on a perpetual. And I know there's a lot of people in there too that are doing it. I get it, but I'm just saying, like, I'm learning a lot from trying to, I don't want to use the term like push the plant, but I want to try to hit, you know what I mean, a maximum yield of what my potential is. And if I'm running similar cultivars under similar lighting, and if I see a 20% decrease in the yield from that cultivar, that's kind of an alarming thing. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I get it. That's not everybody's goal, but you know what I mean? But I'm just saying it's harder to achieve that consistency round after round than what I originally thought and what's originally spread around the YouTube. There's a lot of stuff
sounds like
I've learned that it doesn't work, that's getting sold as it works, and it doesn't work. I can tell you I tried it. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't work. Like, I don't know. Like, rice
sounds
hulls
like
don't work. It's if it doesn't work.
no rice holes, no on a rice hole.
Multiple cycle. I mean, it works for things, but it's going to disappear. So You got to plan on that. That's all, you know.
Well, yeah, if you use it up, it's got to be replenished. I mean, that's just the law of, you know,
But that
nature.
got me initially, Johnny, because that was a heavy part of my aeration on one of my original soil mixes, because that was a popular recommendation that was going around on the internet at that time. Nobody really talked about the fact
It was out with the perlite, in with the rice hulls.
Right. Yeah, it was pretty much like that, you know. So worked great first round, second round, whatever. But by the third,
But
they
it
were all
broke down, right?
did. I couldn't get shit going on in there. And I'm not trying to cut anything down. I'm just trying to speak from experience and reality of the
Well,
hurdles
now,
I ran
and
into.
now
You know what I mean?
at a situation like that, when your rice holes break down, what do? Do you put your stuff out onto a mat, remix it,
You got to do something to
and
get it
and
on.
is that when you do it? Is that when you do your soil test and
Basically, when
figure
I was
what
digging into
exactly it needs and then
transplant,
re-amend it?
that's when it dawned on me, is when I was transplanting, because I was digging into it. And then it was like this slimy, nasty, like worm casting, all compacted. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was weird. It was like, it wasn't like digging through soil. It was more like peeling your fingers through like butter, almost kind of thing. It was like a hard butter. It was weird like
That's
that.
weird.
It was
Yeah.
like clay.
Yeah, it was a lot like that. But I mean, that was all the peat moss broken down too. And I had worms in there. Like all that shit breaks down. That's what I'm saying. So, like, on a longer cycle, the reason like Leighton talks about like horizons the way he does and using sand silt clay is because that shit's not going to disappear on you after your second run or your third run. It's
Mhm.
built to go the long distance, and that's all I'm getting at. Is if you're going to be running multiple runs, there's a lot more planning and thought that should be gone into the medium you're going to choose to use.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Like, because there
There,
are things that develop after so many runs. You know what I mean?
I've been thinking about that lately, and as much as I grew up, I wouldn't say, well, as much as I got used to amended soil and super soil mixes, like how Eagle said, if you want to go down that road, the best economical and resourceful thing to do is reuse that soil. But then we just go into the conversation we just had, and then it's the inevitability that even if you don't want to or don't like it, the best solution is the sand, silt, and clay. You know, at least to today's knowledge, until someone figures out better techniques. But like I saying, I'm dealing with that now. Like, even now, I've never built a sand, silt, and clay soil structure. You know, I'm gonna have to if I want that, you know, longevity out of it.
But see now, like Alex Hardy was on, and he's an advocate for perlite. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not. He's got his reasons for that too, and it makes sense to me. You know what I mean? I understand why he likes that or uses that. But yeah, it's just, for me, it's not something I want. But I don't know. I don't know that mine's the best way either. That's the other side of it. It's just, I don't know.
So
See,
Mia
what
Flower,
I think
I want to drag you in
when I
here.
when I hold on. When I think
Okay, go
about
ahead.
necessarily amending it, I'm not necessarily thinking about keeping it in the same pot multi runs. To me, I'm honestly thinking about doing it like I always kind of do it. Take out, I've got, tubs over there, boom, right where, they're stacked in each other right now, to where I pull out these cocoa pots, after so many runs, they go outside, but second run, they go right over there into that tub. I fucking take the fucking rake to it and beat out the root ball and make, fluff it all up and reuse that cocoa again. And that's basically what I'm thinking about with this dirt, except the same thing, maybe throwing earthworm castings with it, maybe mending it slightly, and whatever, if it needs to be aerated in some way, just then so
Well,
be it. You know what I mean? Kind of working it, not necessarily keeping it in the pot, but building and flipping as I go along, and kind of utilizing, like I see even with the chunky cocoa system now. When I transplant with the chunky cocoa, I make sure there's a couple 2 inches of just chunky on the bottom, so it's got somewhat of like these guys have talked about now. It's up out of, it's aerated on the bottom. It's up and out of, but not doesn't have wet feet. But in soil, I obviously can't use, or I don't think I can use the chips in the same manner. I think at that point it will be more gravel or fucking something in the bottom of the
Crystals.
pots. Yeah, okay, crystals, some crystals
I've
in
been
there,
thinking about it.
you
I'm
know, and
going to
then
see the market for crystals, see if I
then
can.
a fresh soil over top of whatever on the bottom, the aeration on the
Yeah.
bottom, a fresh amended every time, but
So
not necessarily a laid out horizon
I
pot
think
that
it's
I'm
all
gonna
if
use
you're going to
several
be
times.
in a bed, and not taking the soil out, or if we're in pots, we're kind of lucky that, most cannabis's life cycle is basically 10 weeks. For 2 weeks, you put it in that final pot, and the 8 weeks you flower it for, generally, right? And depending on what kind of pot you put it in, how vigorous you have roots, like in Johnny's case, you take that root out at the end and it, almost all that soil is pretty much gone. There's soil on the inside from where those roots were circling around at, but that plant ate good its entire life, and then you do the whole thing where you have, whatever, 12 root balls. So my thing would be kind of the same thing with either macerating it by chopping it up or raking it apart. And then I always wanted to get one of those tumbler composters, big fancy insulated, really nice manufactured ones. And then put those broken up root balls in the tumbler, and then follow the 70-30 carbon nitrogen thing, right? And just make my root balls into compost. And then I would continue making new batches. This is, like I said, philosophy in containers, not in a bed. I would make new batches of super soil or amended soil, and then do a horizon thing like we're talking about, or a layered thing, and put my rose quartz and my citrine crystals on the bottom. They're dense and heavy, so they're not going to move and go nowhere. The whole middle stack, or the big part, is going to be the super soil, and then like a 2-inch layer on the top is going to be that top dressed root ball and compost that I've been making. So it's full circle. The root balls are getting turned into compost and being top dressed on new pots of their from their baby ancestor family tree.
Mr. Tim, I just wanted to say that thank you for showing that garden there. I know I was looking there while you showed off the garden. Thank you for showing. It was looking pretty good, my friend.
Yeah, I just got it started back up. It took a while to get going after that powdery mildew. Well, actually, I took a few months off and didn't do jack shit. And, went to bed normal and stuff, and hung out with the wife and things. And yeah, so did a clean, and then just got lazy there. Kind of enjoyed not having the responsibilities, so ended up stretching a little further than it should have. But yeah, just getting back up and going.
Looking good. Looking good. Glad to see you back up and rolling.
Yeah. Like I said, it went a little longer than it should have, but there was, I guess, I don't know, it was a long time ago that I was on the show, but with medication and trying to get things all figured out and stuff with the doctors and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Time just sort of ticks by. So yeah, I just want to come on and say hi, and I'm still around. So didn't want to let you think that I'm not.
Good to know you're not a scared, Tim. Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's good to see you.
I just creeping around mostly lately, but yeah, it is what it is.
I felt you creeping around, man.
Yeah. Some days you just don't feel like talking, right?
Yeah.
Drop the high and, make sure there's a wrench or two in the chat and, take it easy and do your stuff, right? Listen in the background.
Appreciate you, brother.
And hi to Weedus207, and I seen your comments, but yeah, I'm slow to type back. And hello, everybody else out there in late 1978. About that soil thing there, I went downstairs. I knew I had a note somewhere. Well, isn't soil actually 17% clay, 13% silt, about 40% sand, and 20% organic matter? Isn't that pretty much a recipe? Like, so I mean, I started to do is add bags of sand, traction sand for $4.99, and you look at it, it's all different kind of crushed sand and gravel in there, and so I've been adding that to my soil to make it a little heavier, to hopefully make it last a little longer. I mean, I still ticked off that I threw all that soil, 2,000 liters of soil out when I got that PM. So anyway, to cut costs on soil, I'd definitely like to know that one.
Yeah, those are heavy.
So-
That's what I did too, Tim. I just added sand. Sorry, Eagle. Sand and pea gravel.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, there's a landscaping business up the street, and you can get a dump truckload of vegetable soil or topsoil for like $350 or something. But the only problem with that is come November, December, she's starting to freeze up here, and it's fucking frozen through till March. You know what I mean? Here it is snowing still. So your nice pile of soil that you paid for is out there fucking frozen. You can't really do anything with it. So you're still limited, right? All a bunch inside, but we're all fucking limited for space when most of us are anyway.
Yeah.
That's the cheapest way I found so far, and so yeah, I don't know. And then you're hauling soil from around here. It's pretty good, New Brunswick, but you still don't know what's in it. Unless you get it tested, you're taking the company's word for it, right? So what do? Then you haul in cheap soil from outside, which you're bringing other components of microbiology and life forms that you don't want in your garden. So you're fucked if you do, and you're fucked if you don't.
Kind of, sort of, in a way, yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
I was
So,
just
Mia
kinda
Flower,
chuckling there.
I still want to drag you into this.
Come on then.
How do you use your soil? Do you reuse it? Do you toss
I
it
have
out?
to. At the moment, I'm kind of recycling it, but I'm only getting like to a third run with it because of perlite, yeah, in the product that I'm starting off with in the first place, yeah, say in a ProMix scenario, it's a BioViz, yeah. So say from the starter, I'm kind of working from there. It's going into a living soil, yeah, with my own worm castings from my garden and things like that. But yeah, it's tough with the perlite situation. One of the guys is nearly here in Ireland, got himself set up so that he's going to supply the likes of me with soil. Because of a lot of going and getting, say, compost from somebody else, sometimes it's got like, you don't know what's in it, you're pulling plastics out of it, it's, you know what I mean, it smells like it's still got, it's not broken down right,
So do you have a Do you have a compost place that you actually go to get a certain kind
No,
of
I have my own compost. I've just in the last, say, 2 years have my own composting.
That's the best way to
So,
go. Yeah.
and I chop down all my leaves down on top of everything from early veg. It goes in on top, and it's lasagna layered and a little bit of straw. So I'm kind of doing that, but I still have to deal with the perlite problem, which is, it's hopefully in the next 6 months that'll be solved, and I won't have to use it.
The perlite, it breaks down, yeah.
Yeah, it just breaks down, and it is that little problem in our environment of that dust, that little fine. When you clean your room down.
Yeah.
I find it. Yeah, so we're nearly there. In the next 6 months, hopefully, we'll have we'll have eliminated all the problems, all the toxic problems away from. So, and using my own stuff from the last, say, 2 years as well, it's only now getting really, really good. Having 3 composting piles.
Yeah, that's the best way to go. Way you can transfer.
And then feeding your worm bin, and learning that thing of like what you kind of have as well outside. You can't really bring it back in a certain way. It's all learning. And these conversations are the more knowledge we can push around, because we all were done that thing like the rice hull and jumped in and planted tried to go into the no-till and added up all. I remember putting clover down, 3-4 different types of clover. Wow. I just brought problem after problem after problem. You know what I mean? They just bring their own problems to the table. So, and so you kind of have to step back and go, okay, I have to, because we're all trying to get, the end goal is to get to the end of flower,
Yeah.
So, and I need my medicine. I can't go out here. It's like 400 starting off, to 600 for a zoo, I can't afford that. I couldn't afford for the amount I smoke. No way. No. So I have to kind of put things aside for a minute and go, okay, right, until my friend has all his amendments sorted and he has gone through, he's 3 years in and he's getting it all tested, and you know what I mean? He doesn't want to just put a product onto the market and not have, And the other thing, he was using stagnant moss, and we had that discussion, we live in the bogs. We don't want to, we've seen the destruction here. It's like, oh, it's horrible. It's horrible. You're talking 20 feet of soil gone for, at least 100 kilometers in a circle around us, deep, and they don't do anything like it. It's decimation of, so you can't even go back in. It's like they bring it back down to rock, bedrock,
So they're harvesting it and just taking it right down to bedrock.
Yeah, we supplied all the world with all their gardening supplies for the last 30-odd years. Yeah.
Oh wow.
And it's only now the same crowd that robbed the bogs of all its peat now are the ones coming back and saying, oh, we're going to be the new green, and we're going to be the new hemp, and we're going to have this alternative energy. We're going to have the bogs growing back, so, and they just got into the whole recycle, that side of it, all the bins, taking your rubbish, your compost, your brown bin, So that's what I'm saying. They're the guys supplying back into and they don't, a lot of people don't, they throw stuff into their recycling bins that they shouldn't, they don't separate, so you're getting meat stuff thrown into them, Not nice. And dog feces. And that's what I'm saying. If you're using cow dung from the farmer's field or collecting it, or going and getting horse dung, you have to remember that they're treating their animals 4, 5, 6 times a year for different, yeah. And they all build up in animals, and then that you're going to go and you're going to grow from that if it hasn't, them heavy metals and toxic stuff that they put through their animals, because they've got the little tag in their ear, and they need to tick them boxes, or else the cow is not going to be going through the food chain.
Antibiotics, pharmaceuticals,
all that, everything, like, and it's serious amount of stuff that they, especially with Europe, fucking shit, the loopholes and the red tape, and so, yeah, you just have to be like, that's what I mean. If we can make our own feed, but it takes 2-3 years to get to making your own soil, and you're going to still need to go out and source outsource stuff. So, but the more that we can use from our own, I think feeding our own plant material back, everything back into is, you're not wasting anything then, really. I think the plant will, if it keeps dropping all its leaves naturally around, that I've seen anyways. It's a nutritional value that's superior, I think. It's the plant feeding itself.
I think that's incredibly the way to go about it. The other day, I took 3 of the males that I had in one of my tents, and I blended them up into a juice, and pretty much like a pesto, let's say, and then I took that and I put it into 2 gallons of RO water and shook the crap out of it until it got all foamy, and then I fed them to some of the plants that I thought needed extra love.
That's it. But there's nothing like you're feeding all these really good nutrients to your plants. Your plants are showing that they're healthy. You're picking them leaves off, they're full of, so you just lay them down, but chop them up a little bit. Help. You know what I mean? I have a few worms. I don't actually put worms into my pots. Like, they're in the castings, and I see them. I see the. So.
Good.
Yeah, I don't have any worms.
They often walk out.
Fine,
yeah, they leave and want to venture. Yeah. But it's like that. I think that's a sign as well. If you're doing that, it's probably it's maybe an oversign, a little bit overwatering. Because if you want to get worms outside, what do? You
water.
Imitate water. You know what I mean? Do a sprinkler and the worms will come. Like, it's like, if you see the birds, they'll dance on the ground and imitate water to get the worms to come up. Yeah. Have you seen that?
I never thought about that, but I've seen robins doing that shit.
Yeah, they just sit there and just do the worms. So, bottom feeding, I found, is the best thing I've got from Tenaci's garden in the last, say, year and a half of just going feeding from the bottom tray and not really top. Maybe a light, spray every now and again, a little.
What do you mean by feeding? Are you talking just watering or like?
Yeah, watering from the bottom. Watering from the bottom. Yeah.
Like your stuff does, Smiley. Yeah. It's a bottom feeder.
Yeah.
What is it you like about that, Flower?
I think just elimination of gnats, really, that sort of giving them a, not that they're part of the cycle. Let's be real. They're there. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? If you're using organic material and bringing it in, or if you're getting secondhand worm castings from somebody else, you're guaranteed they're coming with gnats. Come on, or else, in the worst place you can go is go to a grow shop and get anything. It's just like, because everybody's been there with every problem, and the grow shop. If you really study the grow shop, you usually have a tent over in the corner with some shitty little plant, and it's infested. Yeah. You can tell. Like, you go in and you look, look up high. They don't really clean webs or anything, so you can see, like,
I don't want to.
Yeah, you feel like when you go there, you go like, I want to fucking burn my clothes when I come back. You know what I mean? You know, and then you're kind of going like, I'm getting back into the car that I got into. So what am I doing? I'm fucking, you know, I'm terrified of going there because I've seen, yeah, you know, trips. You know, he showed me in the grow shop what they were like on his plants. Yeah,
Oh, really?
yeah. Oh, he thought it was great.
Well,
It's great.
hey, look here. You want to see what thrips look
Yeah.
like? Yeah, they're right
Yeah.
there.
Because I kind of pointed out the
Oh,
things that he
man.
kind of put. Yeah, but look, listen, yeah, but that's the
My phone
problem.
lets me out of the house every couple of weeks. I can't wait to go to the grocery.
How long do they leave them pallets outside in their yard? You know what I mean? When they're getting deliveries of stuff, you know, in and you know, if you ever went and looked around the back, there's pallets stacked. They're not covered or anything, you know.
Yeah.
So like you can get the wrong, you know. Our birds love to pick them, don't they? You know, because
Oh,
of
yeah.
the, you know, they're attracted to that already because of, you know, the round hay bales and silage bales that they have, especially here anyways. The crows have learned how to pick holes to get the worms, and then the worms will just come out like, you know, they're clever. Or any little creature that's trapped inside the village here, you know. So everything is like, you know, you have to eliminate as much problems, and we really do go over top, but that in a good way. You know what I mean? Because we're inside, and you can't really afford them once you have a bad problem. Like I had a bit of a gnat problem because I went to an Irish funeral and was like gone for 4 days. So I'd watered say the night before, and then found out that the person had died, and decided in the morning, okay, I got water, don't I? So I overwatered, and then I've been dealing, say, the last, you know, with all my yellow cards. But I'm, you know, then it was like a problem with sourcing the yellow cards because of all this COVID
Where does
and
smoke go?
Brexit and everything. You know, so you're trying to, that's more of a problem here is like because of the Brexit thing and because of COVID, trying to get stuff in from Europe. And England is one of the biggest producer of all ours. You know what I mean? Most of indoor stuff comes from the UK. You know, they're the leaders on a lot of stuff. So
You're on an
when you
island.
go to get back, you know what I mean? It's a, you know, especially for me, for any organic, if I want to get my Eco Thrive, you know what I mean? The pallets already are held up in customs, you know what I mean? So you have to find alternatives then, you know. So really trying to get and be self-sufficient is the way forward, and being in control of what you put into your, so you know that you've put it in there, and then you, as it is like, you know, there's plants that don't like feed, so you were going to have them. How do you, you know what I mean? You're always going to have that one plant that's a figgy one in the corner, but you know that she doesn't really, so you're going to have to make her soil specially up for her. You have this one over here, big heavy feeder. You have to do that one for her. You know, so we're, you know, how many, like, then if you're using autos, then you have to have another regiment of soil. You can't be, even if you want to be organic, you know, because they don't really need much. You know, so that's my 2 pence.
I've never put that much thought into each different kind of plant and how they feed. I let
But
them
that's it,
figure
like,
that out. In a way, that's kind of how I do it. So,
Be a
Eco,
good
you're
spot right there. I was gonna
What's that?
call it, Johnny.
okay. I was gonna say,
Nah,
I was gonna say you probably got shit to do, man.
unfortunately.
Yeah, because we
But
ran
I
long.
appreciate you guys popping on for this Easter wormhole. If you guys would like to pick up this conversation, everybody has an open invitation to hop on tonight, 2 o'clock, where the wormhole is guaranteed to be on again. We can pick this up and have some more fun. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, the time warp has closed for tonight.
We appreciate it, Eagle. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Eagle.
Happy Easter.
Thank you, guys.
Happy
Yeah.
Easter.
Everybody in chat.
Have a good one.
Bye. Red
Light
pill.
'em up.
Red pill.
We got 'em.
Light him
Yep.
up, Tim.
Peace.
Good to see you again.
Yeah,
Good to see you, brother. Really good
of
to see
course.
you, man.
Later,
Yeah,
chat.
Flower. Good to hear from you.
Johnny and you.
Yes. I'm out of here,
Eagle.
guys.
Thank you very much. Red pill.
Thanks, Eagle.
Peace out.
Peace
I'm
and
out too.
love.
Thank you.
Bing,
Thank
bing,
you, guys.
bing.
Bye-bye.
Later, Eagle. Oh my
See you
goodness.
later.
That was the last one
It was
anyway.
I know, and it was almost like buckshot there for a minute, man. They were just every which direction.
Oh man. Okay. Much love, man. I appreciate you so
Thank you,
much.
Jeff.
All right, man. We'll talk to you later, man. Have a good night.
Always a pleasure, my friend. Man, what a great group of guys right there. That is no joke. Man, did I have fucking papers right there the whole night? Oh, did I have fucking? Good. I did not have fucking papers. Cut some all night long. Thank you, everybody, for popping in. Much respect to the panel. Thank you, Jack. Thank you, Meow Flower. Thank you, Light Up Again, Tim. It was a super pleasure to see you tonight, man. Checking in. I have been a tiny bit worried about, not tiny, but I've been a lot worried about you. I haven't seen you in a minute, and I care about all you guys that I've met in the last year. It's been an awesome journey and tons of fun to hang out with you guys. What do I know? Me? I know I tend to know quite a bit. But anyways, time for the fun to end. I will see you guys tonight when the wormhole opens up again. 2 a.m. My time. I will be firing it back up to all those who want to pop back in. Those of you guys that are interested in coming on to the show, I am always looking for great guests. And I know there's a bunch in chat currently that I have tons of respect for sure. You guys know who they are. Tone Goes Dank, man. That's a name I haven't seen in a minute. Hell yeah. Nice to see you. Hopefully you are doing well, my friend. Need to use that number, man. Get in at one of these wormholes. That'd be pretty cool. I was just saying, what? Tonight with Phenomenal Genetics, I have issued out that invitation to well over 300 people. And by all means, 300 people do not use that invitation. It get kind of hectic though if everybody did. Holy shit, now to think about it. But it is nice to see all you great faces, that's for sure. Yeah, try to find something we haven't heard a million times here. Jeez. Which is getting tougher and tougher to do. YouTube be killing me right now. Real tough what they've got thrown up right now. What the hell? Cashmere, maybe? All right, here we guys go. Here, as soon as we get some music after this commercial, skip ad, unmute. We get presidents. Just go with it, guys. Tuck and roll, tuck and roll. Sub cool. Miss you, brother. For real. D's House of Dank, Mama Lost 710, Scarecrow 420, Green Thumb Bum, Christina MG 89, Unplugged 705, Medical McCullough, Cuddy, Rick T, the Rebel, the 19207, Baby and Salinas, Dave's not here, Tom, Spook, Greg Walker, Mindo Dope, T Dog, Dung Beetle, Red Eye Jedi, Crows, Mother Nature, Justin Conway, Duckweed, Run Boy 7426, Justin Good Earth, Strongman, Okie Grower 75, Corey Trevor, Michael Wallace, Mo Vision 420, Who's Your Cat Daddy, Taco Don, Slug, Rick S. In the Bushes 827, James Stephen, Kevin Ton, World's Last Hope, Pat's Fan 420, Biometric, Dirt Road Dude, Kenneth Shriva, Jose Ramirez, Red Eye Rustler, Dab Goblin, Dr. Boss Lightyear, Stone 710 Canuck, Kenna Queen Genetics, Stabby Tanase, Fumidor, Dirtman Day, Keith the Black Sales, Mr. Brosilla, Sin Premium Gardens, Rasta Bob, Rasta Jeff. That is the EO crew. So Group, Small Tube, Tyler, Frosty Buds, North Michigan Micro, Ouija Buds, Michigan Close, Dub T Roy, Big Jar Grows, JC, Modern Genetics, SoCal Weaver, John, Last PPJ, 415, Green County Grower, CJ Apple, Perfectly Imperfected, Dollar Tree Grows, T1 Productions, Think Grower, DOA Grow Meds. We miss you as well. Miss Nudie Grows, I Grew Some, Johnny Candace, Nutrient Shootouts, Naughty Nicky, Zoe and Slammer, Pixel Monkey, St. Bernard's Observation Booth, Clover 420, High Spy, Aldridge 25, Miss Madam T, Stu Moon, Mo Grower, the Kenneth Kratz, Loki Grows, Sess, this guy, Burton 79, Polish Hammer, Midwest Outlaws 31, Voodoo Ultras, Fresno Nerds, Kelly Connections, Wolverine Grown, Big Jar Grows, Jimmy One for Life, way back forever, D Block, MMP, Nations Creations, Amber Lilonic, Psychedelic Warlock, Artist LD, Sir Sticky, Rob Big Day 420, Brent Window, Big Ed 1961, Manawani G3, The Green Click, JK Triple G, Mr. Sprinkler, Brittany and Tyler Teasley, Hope Farms, Lisa G, John BT Crazy for You, BG, WG 420, Dr. Baldwell, Herb Dumb OG, Anthro, Cynthia, Anthro, Just Face 420, Beast Coast Grower 420, Sir How, Trey Malone, Keep It Real, Hankerson 420, Zed Zeppelin, Audit Everywhere, BT, Double D, Grows, Bingus, Green Puffin Man, Alex Boykachev, Squawk, Chef Light, School of Crop, Those I Love It, Green Mountain Grower, Southwest Okie, Real 100, 212, Andy Man, Miranda Family Farms, Page Farms, Meow Flower, Ryan Henderson, Green 13, Noob Chevot Wins, Kingdom Microponics, Indra, Michigan Native, Mary Jane's Red Gardens, Dreamer 77, Double D, Bad Bunny, Nutrients, Mr. Green Pots, Mr. Green Nugs, from 619 to 664, Spaniard Kruger, Jones and the Grow, Papa G Grows, Raz Amy, Dro Grows, Cast, the Grow From Your Heart podcast, Lily, Luna, Green Med Flock, Jeremiah Miranda, Stony Creek, Lost Art, Mr. No One, LG 420, Giant Mike, Prometheus Soil, Jason Axel, P. Wynn, David Colby, Mason 662, Scroggy McScroggerton, the 4, Goddess Grows. Cheers to you in chat, hopefully still. Jen Brad Family Farms, Polly P. Fior, Kevin Jodry, Mike Honcho, UDA, Green Tree Hunter, Kush Cloud, Joshua Steensland, Organic Home Buds, Warren Nelson, Cam Wood, Maine Mystic, Show Love Always, Kelly Stone, Texas OG, Chuck Norris, Sarge S, Claire Fresno, Happy Guy, and the Indoor Man, Grow Me Homies, Hamilton Grows, Clip Smoke, Keystone, Canada Flag, PA, Big High 710, Eugene Greenleaf, Ace Drew Hustle, Fred Darkalos, North Arizona, Beer Girl 420, No Sellout, Jesse White, Gosh Dang, Yeti, Introvert, Genetic, So J, Vixen Robin, Killer 8, Mo, James Buttercream, C-Dub from NorCal, the Pharmacy Seed Bank, the Dreadhead, Smokey 616, Curtis Mahan, Matt Myron, Morte, Matt, Rick Heyman, Stephanie Dore, Antenna Seeds, Mike Rubles, the Drew Bear 420, Maxi 751, Lawrence Gonzalez, Stowe to Get Up, Stu Moon, Papaco 719, Faith with Shake, Baby, Old Smoke, PWC, Grown Buds, Laura Wash, Mr. Weedblunt, Old School Grower, Chad Westport, Honcho Growing, Flora Nugs, My Little Piece of Heaven, Pungent Sound Seeds, Goliath Grower, Richard T. Chrissy Wannabe, Mr. Soul, Food Spectrum, Gone Guy, Lori Hanson, Real 2000 years of tradition, Mr. What the fuck? I gotta pause it right in the middle of the song. D. Conley, Pimp Jam, McBodie, Faye, show me Sasquatch. Fuck Google and you. I'm going well. Canadian Resort, Porter Farm, McCallroy, Zephyr, Humble Farm, Tannery Farm, Seldom Seen, Oak Park Gardens, Hell 9782, Skunky Palace, Marshall Artist 2012, Micro Hefner, Daniel McDizzle, Medically Fit, KGB, Robert, Mr. Greenfingers, motherfucking Thomas, Grancho Coast of Plenty, Monkey Balls, Andrew Champley, Bobby Lynn Meads, Trent Digger, Mr. Mac, Tony Lake Bologna, Bill S. Weed Piece, Tater Delicious, Minty, Country Roots, Huron, Fire Genetics, Earth Creeper, Big Ray 420, Teeny 101, Buds and Hazards, Mr. Club 14, Bearded B Man, Farm 616, Snarl Up North, Max Ruby, Timothy McKibbins. Excuse me. Neo, Justin Beans, Chronic 88, Fat Belly, Real Jennifer Steele, Cannabis 03, Turk Farmer, Shannon Stevens, Carlitos, Latina, Kinder Country, Mr. Speed, Wolf Steve, Firesaw, Wally, Wookie, The Goddess, Rose again, Ross and Bob, White Feathers, Burning Shrooms, Tone Grows Dank, The K-Man Grows. Excuse me, BX Gunner, Smith Dude, Canoob, Rose, Sean McCann, Jay McGunn, Jay Muntz, Dank Agenda, Wawa, Canna Grove, Fall Dog, Huron Cannabis Council, Alyssa Parrish, Rock Fam, Justice Mick, 420 Bid, Pressbro, Driving Herbs, High Boy, Your Mailman Grows, We Be Growing, Australian Grown, Love for the Plant, Argo, American Smart Poker, Unfrozen Caveman, Hawaii's Highest Surfcraft, Michael Groove, Jeff Lowenfeld, Mobius Grows, Dank, Brownies, Dan D, Elliot Arkins, Mystic Flavors, The Foraging Gardener, Overwater Overkill, Seattle Steve, Shadow Warrior, Valley Green 514, Amelia Jensen, Oz Indica, Dr. MJ Coco, Brandon Russ, Matthew Gates, These Bags, Throwing Star, Shotgun Willie, Dank Yoda, Jay Simmons, Sure Bro Grows, Clackamas Crew, DJ Conley, ATG, Late 1978, Michigan Grown Buds, Your Boy Roy Boy, Delta 9, Jay McDaniels, Clackamas 420, Seeky Colas, Dylan Steinfort, PFC Farms, Husky Garden, Sun Grove 707, J.A. Grove, J420, Cascadian Grove, T Toads, McGee, Four Plants 8, Weedworks, Captain Scrog, Skunky Buds, Odds Warrior, Jackie Young, Terry League Live, McGasser Tempe, Andy Yen, D Urge, Green Jr., Leon from All Purpose Plus, Green Goose, 11 Smiles 11, Bindu Buds, Michael Rossa, Grows, 311 Mix Up, Kinder Grows, Evergreen, G Friends, Treats, MMJ, Matt's Vault, Save, Matt S., Save Ball, Dragonfly B, Justin Mills, Travis Walls, Lucky Mike, Seattle Chronic Seeds, Kane Chronic, Titan Coast, Titan from Blessed Coast Seeds, that is, Shango Gas, Babasco for Life, John Smith, Tommy Dracos, Boca King, Raz, Pop Little, Slow Roll, Spiky College, Oscar Green Jr., Matt Steelberg, Indoor 11, Stephanie B, Shark Bully 989, Ron Brown, Southern Garden, Stoner Nation, Joe Y, Bugs 1313, Grower, Painted Lady, Frank Goo, Jay Myers, Mid, The Chat, Mr. Manny D, Bag C, Dr. DGC, Jeff, Shredder 911, Dutch Grows 420, Scallywag 420, Skill Bull 1, Med Grower 1, Empire Breeding Growth, Roll Lost Leaf, Liam Mass, Danny Danko, B Bear 7, Ollie Noble, CK, Tom Trinidad, Mooney Justice, Smoking with Small Town, Tim S., Mr. Lazy, Rafter Grows, Rob, Automation is Freedom, Robert Hazleton, Thor Miskin Court, Double Tap Farms, Mr. Green Thumb 420, 808 Rooting Prosperous, the Cannon Bus Driver, Hayden Life, Kenny 710, Operation Gross, T-Ben, TM 42619 or 696, Brood Nut 619. That's what I meant. And Hammered Emails, thank you both. Dr. Scrambles, BB Moonrock, GHF, Double J, Bio Green, Stealth Grower, Hanky Safety 420 OG, KP, Ganja Nana, Your Mama, Georgia Joe, Roy Rodriguez, B Growing, Nature's Best Nug, Killer, B Grows, Ganja Wizard, Husky Guards, Nut Tree 420, Dr. E, Soul Life 420, Bully for Life, to Jeff Roll 420, B 698, to Dr. Franklin Booty, Goddamn Baked. Test, the Riffin' Fat Boy, Jack Greenstar, 420, Boom Farms. Charlie's Farms, 420, Aldridge, 25. Another commercial. 2 commercials on that side. Aldridge 25, Smiley's Garden, JD's, Misty's Nugs, Smoke and Grove, Fraser, Rokoski, Twisted Roots, Faded Farmer 420, Jeff Dorowski, Genetic Memory Farms, Evolve 420, Cameron, Mr. Bagseed, Jill Carter, Mystic Marks, Mystic Grower, Ginger Snaps, DTE, Grose, Rick Wolf, DLP 2372, Mike, Ned Denver, Mike Denver, Sergeant Pepper 420, Cannon Trooper, Blind Cat 420. Light it up again, Tim. Thank you again for popping in, man. I appreciate that more than you know. UKSFI 420. Booty Boy, Devin Shipwreck, Medical, MJ, Budsville, USA, Resurrection Prophet, Chris Martinez, Date Man 420, Date Man Dan, Red Center Farms, Good Luck, Joni Bell, Cheetah B, Most Hated Grower, Major General 420, Army, American 1, W Digger 714, Tarates, Kenny Next, Mountain Skies, Ready, Hit That Hot Wire, Chris Mertz, Ian, Save Robbie, Sergeant Life, Apple Bay Camp, Finger Lakes Finest, Ridge Patch, Dozer Mood, Southern BT Grower, Choose Medical, Jerry Bear, Plus One Mushroom, Secret City Botaniers, My Little Tent, 2042, Spacewalker, Christian Tree Month, T. Bergjoy, Heart and Soul, Homegrown, Mike B, T. Dwayne, East Coast Will, Heidi Day, Galactic Gardens, John Smith, Elliptis, My Natural Farms, Pacific Northwest Seeds, Ross, Kyle, Paul, Lemon Hoko, Trench, Rita's Juicy Life, Richard 420, Grant Manuel, Mary Bond, 70 Sizzle, 9-inch Colas, Chris Mo, DK Trades, Vision Creator, Guru, The Kind Brew, Cannon Nation J, Wob Wobbly, Sean Bins, Rescue Ready, Roadside, Notorious Nugs, Magma Seed, Father and Son, Trimming Tutorials, Sub T, Dank, Jose Martinez, Perez, Doggo the Hut, 420, Buck, Chiba Man, GR 420, Community Videos, Detroit River Rat, Luis Garcia, Michael P, AJ Everyday, Captain Botted, Cheddar Bob 13, you've been missed. Main 420 Bed Grower, Cookie Scoop, Jay Kendricks, In for the Grill, Cat Backwoods All Good, Scally Mansell, Adam Skankin, Chanel Simpsons, One Smoke Away, Ganja Roach, Kazoo, Aaron Burnage Rooms, Mr. Lincoln Stinkin, Angel Studios MG, that 420 Grow Tent, Paul D. Elliott, John Fleming, Dankovich, Kimo F Sky, Barbara Plow, Paulie P, Seldom Seen, Elevated, Lely, Organic, Sun Man, Chiba Sunny, Jepa Pollock, Ricardo Sosa, Dan J, Earth Friendly Farming, Candy Forest Farmer, Fuck All That, B, Misfit Grower, Jason Line 512, Snake Eyes, Northern 4466, Jason Greenstone, Sony Baker MD, Sony Creek, Russ Sonic, Fringe Dweller, Tarzan, Superman, Old Man Hermit Hash, Freebird, Mo Grower, Manigar, Simple Man, Survival Time, Tim Blake, Golf Coast, Chronic, Stink Fat, Caballero, Polito. I know I fucked that up. I'm so sorry. Harley Grower, Jen God, Jason Line 512, again for the hell of it, Steve Collins, Tom Kendricks, Property Maintenance, Sharpie, the Island Haze. That's plain out it. Scuba Steve Speaks, J.R. Ring, Randy K. Steve Collins, TCDR. Much respect to you, brother. Hopefully you check in again soon. Claire Killian, Warbler Farmer, Randy Grande, Piff 1000, Ace Spook 3223, Wake Up, Captain Freedom Bee, Puffer Smiles, 15 digits, Michigan Ganja Move, Hash, Fred G, Super Bob, Broski 808, Weekend at Bernie's, K-Bag, Justin Station, Strong Style, Zippy, Medic 31, Honesty, K-Pill, Me All Flower, Brent Food, Todd Kendricks, Newton Kendricks, or Kendricks Newton, that is, K&T, Chris D, True Serum, Photons Fold, Nanny Dread, Barbara Matthews, Ancient Soul Grown, Kevin Jiu-Jitsu, Can of Health and Happiness, Berserk 215, Lab, Low Cut, Abu Trembler, Mo Mini Meds, Raz Benchy, Hugh Janus, Ellen, James T, Atomic Spoon, Miss Jill, Big Daddy LT Gardens, Big High Flyer 420, Blobster Brush Grow, Main Tree, Mother Tree Main, third time's a charm, Red Pill, Your Boy, Roy Boy, Ecstatic, Shannon Gimmons, Ruhan, Rick W, Comfortably Numb, One Smoke Away, the 840 Show, Richard Lamb, Red Pill 710, thank you for popping on again. Chemist Pursuit, K Rolling, Worthy Buzz, Logan Man 81, Oil and Flower Podcast, Buddha Blake, pop in. The Entourage Effect, Warren Dixon, Pink Lady Luck, El Mondo 420, surrounded by Keith Ferrari, Farmers, Fringe Dwellers, Single Fathers, Happiness Without Guilt, Richard Forbes, Daniel Clementa. Hopefully I'm getting that right, David. And then I actually said Daniel, so I didn't get that right at all. David Clementa. Hopefully I got that some close right. Sorry. P4P Funk, Nicotine, John Reese, Without Bob, Prince Patty, Daniel Bergman, Puffin, Green Puffin Man. B. Dungalee. Hopefully I'm getting that close nowadays. Chung, James Chung, Sarge Gross 818, John Wayne, Carolina Root, Sister Golden Hairs, Deanna El Dangarino, K and F Gardens, Blank 1030, Choose One, Only Feed 10, Farmer James, Crypto Dope, Richard Blamp, HIP Grower, Matt Javine, Dan Marino, Chronic, Wonders, Sunrise Grow, Top Floor Genetics, Molevish 420, Can2 Cannabis, Jess Fisher, my dog Nelia, Rooster, Alex Hardy, thanks again for your episode. Richard, that is, of course, Hardy Gear, Mitty Cropper, Daniel Gross, Photos, Smitten Grown Meds, Sunrise Grows again, of course, my baby girls, Lexi, Brittany, Courtney, miss you girls, I love you, Brittany, and the expensive time girl. No Limit, Grumpy Toad, Mason, Alchemy, Ketamix, Soul, Born Addiction, Rajo, Alex D, Dirty or Catfish, High Power, Thunder Dan, Propagation Station, John McDaniels, Lisa Marie, Blaze Daily, Fried Piper, Perpetual, Eagle Proud Warrior. I'm sure that's a fucking, come on. Sarah Smiles for you, Frank Usada, the Dank Duchess, Kino, Kelly Maxwell, Captain 420. I'm looking forward to your episode. Stink Fat. What about Bob? Iljesser, Pop Rose, or Pop Shrooms, that is. John Gorski, John D again, Dugan, Gangsta, THC Board, PTSD, TD Barrington, Poncho Grown, Swamp Can. Oh man, let's try this one. Halito Canabinca, maybe? Question mark? Sorry. Best of because Mr. Manny D, Canna Ferrari, Bo 20 Abnormal, Franklin Guerrero, Bare Feet, Jay Brent, 74, CK Brown Guy, 420, Pachyderm 420, Burning, Tree, Maine, EA, Gray Sun, Grow 207, Hydro Daily, Hemp with GG, episode coming soon, Jamie Reed, Supreme Grape, and I'm sorry to the others in chat tonight that I missed. You all count very much. And last but not least, I almost forgot Weed is 207. Tons of respect to all you guys. You guys know the deal. This is the end of your journey. Please get some rest. This is the beginning of your day / journey. Make it an awesome one. Oh, thank you, GR. GMO. I'm still a fucking up too. I'm taking it into account though. This is the beginning of your day, making an awesome one. It is Monday, officially Monday. That means make it a great week, not just a great day. Please do something nice for somebody. Random acts of kindness do save lives. I am a living, breathing example of that. So easy to do. Did you get a haircut? Shave that beard. No your shirt. Hair looks good. You look beautiful today. Can I get that door? Need a buck? I don't need a buck. Do you want to need a sesh? Do you want some nugs? Can I give an ear to you, brother? Do you need a hug? Ugh. Guys, know the deal. Please try. It goes a long way. I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Please join me tonight, 2 a.m. my time, officially for the official start of the wormhole. I will see you tonight. Love you guys.